welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a thing which will come in very handy today later on when we talk about something pretty big in the industry, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I talk about anything and everything that catches our interest and or ire. We stream live every single Sunday and occasionally on Fridays at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be previewing some trailers, talking about a lot of industry news, talking about some cool stuff that Baku's been up to lately. Baku, how are you doing, dude?
I am hanging in there. How are you doing?
Well, I've definitely hit my second wind. Work was a long day today. This is, by the way, this is one of the reasons that we typically stream on Sundays instead of Fridays, is because we're tired, but that's okay. We're doing it live. We are live on Twitch and on YouTube. We're on Twitch and YouTube right now. And if everybody over on Twitch wants to come over to the YouTube channel, you could definitely do that and hang out with us. So how are you doing today, man? What have you been up to lately, Baku?
Oh boy. There's a lot of things going on. So last Sunday, unfortunately, we were not able to have a show, and that's my fault. And then this Sunday, I have some family obligations, so we can't do the show on Sunday. So that's also my fault. So I apologize ahead of time for anyone who's watching right now. Why is there HitPoint on Fridays? Because it's Baku's fault. I'm so sorry. But hear me out, okay? Hear me out, okay? I mean, this Sunday's family, so it's like that's not my fault at all, okay?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's family. Last Sunday was kind of my fault because I picked a Saturday to do a 12 hours charity stream.
12 hours? Holy cow.
Hours, yes. And it's 12 hours because I can no longer do 24-hour streams without dying. I think I finally hit the age where 24 hours staying up and trying to be entertaining is no longer feasible. So the best I can do is 12 hours, which ends up being like a 14-hour streams instead of 12 hours. So and we had a whole lot of fun. Yeah.
Always going that little bit extra there.
Just always, man. Just I'm the overachiever, I suppose.
You saw my 8-hour stream of Silent Hill 2, and you're like, bet.
Yeah, I'm like, hold my water, Derek. I'm kidding. Hold my matcha, Derek.
Hold my prune juice. OG son.
I know. OG son, yes. So we did a couple collabs. It was really cool. I got to play the newest demo of Quartet from Something Classic, and that was super awesome. Thank you so much. Those guys are awesome, and they donated some games for me to give away too. So I'm very grateful to them. Fun fact. I think it was like the night before. So last Friday, they messaged me on Discord, and they're like, "Hey, Baku, by the way, we just finished the newest build for the demo." And I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, we just finished the newest demo. I was like, wow, just in time. Like, that's some crazy like coincidence. Like, no, actually your whole thing like gave us a great excuse to update the demo. So here it is. So really cool. Really appreciate them. I also found some bugs for them. So I guess that's the feelings should be mutual. But yeah, so we raised, guess how much money we raised though, Derek? Can you guess?
How much you raised? Oh, yeah. I've been under a rock. Okay, 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
12 hours. Okay.
12 hours, yes. Right. I streamed, 14 hours, but okay.
$300? $400?
$300? Ooh, you're underestimating my community, sir. Oh my God. How dare you?
Okay. I mean, I'd prefer to underestimate on these sorts of things than be like $1,000, Baku.
And now I'm like, actually, we'll only raise like $50. So
exactly. Yeah, like, sorry. I don't want to over. Yeah, I'd rather underestimate. Makes it sound more impressive. But
well, you know what? Here's the thing. I am with you, and so I had completely underestimated my community's ability to raise fund.
Should I make another guess? Oh yeah, what did you guess?
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. Second guess. $1,000.
Okay, yep, nope. A lot more than that. Which again, it's not. It's okay. So I had thought, and you know what? I'm with you. I thought that within a single 12-hour stream, I'll raise maybe $1,000. Right.
Like
So
I mean, that would be respectable for
yeah, no,
sure.
I think that is amazing, and I would be extremely thankful already if we can raise $1,000 in 12 hours. Right. I think I'm
Hmm.
just like this little dude on Twitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so going by that logic, right? I said, okay, here's the thing. I'm doing two, not one, but two 12-hour streams. I already did one last Saturday. I'm gonna do another one tomorrow, more
Yeah.
info to come. So two totally 24 hours, right? Um, so I thought, okay, $1,000 per stream, 2,000-ish dollars total, right? So
Yeah.
I'll set it to 2,500, right? The extra 500, that's your extra milestone, and we'll see if we can do it, right? And that's already the challenge, 2,500. That was the challenge. We raised $3,670
Wow.
one day, one
That
stream.
that's incredible. That's really incredible.
I know. That is insane. So yeah, just want to thank everyone who came by last Saturday to just to hang out. We're doing again this Saturday because again, I can't do one 24-hour streams, but you know what I can do is two 12-hour streams, which if you do the math is 24. So I'm going to be doing that this Saturday, which is tomorrow, starting at 2:30 p.m. All the way until like maybe like 3 a.m. because
Hmm.
there's time in between that I'm taking breaks, but I'm making sure that I'm giving like a full 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
All the benefits will go towards ExtraLife, and we're benefiting the University of Virginia Children's Health Care. They do like medical research. They cure kids of like terminal illnesses. It's a really good charity to support. Um, they hit a milestone where I have to dress as a maid. So that's coming.
That's
Yeah, and I'll have to do a cooking stream. I'll have to dress like a maid. I have to eat this one chip challenge right here. So
oh no.
this is one of
Oh
the
buddy.
milestones.
Oh
So
buddy.
in celebrating how quickly we did this, I actually called up a friend. We're gonna do a double one chip challenge. So now we got two of these, and my buddy Vincent's gonna try to chip with
Oh
me.
my god. Dude,
So
have
yeah,
you tried one of those before?
no.
I have. I've eaten one.
Oh no, how was it?
I am concerned for you. I
Well, you know what I did do on the stream? I'll show you. What I did do is this. I tried a death nut challenge.
okay.
Actually, it's not trying the death nut. I did it before, but
Well,
I failed the fifth nut, which is like the highest level last time. I did it this time. I handled it like a champ.
okay.
Last
Okay.
time, you know, it was pretty unfortunate. I had to run to the bathroom, and the chat can hear me regurgitate.
Oh, that's got to be worse on the way out.
It's so much worse.
So
Not
show
gonna
me
lie,
that
I was
chip
a little
again.
concerned.
Show me
Oh,
that chip again because the
this
one
one?
that yeah, what's the brand on that? Cuz that
Yeah,
looks different from the one I did.
okay, so the one that you did, that company
Yeah.
no longer sells that chip anymore because this high I think this high schooler tried it and he actually passed away. So they're like, okay, maybe
Okay.
we're gonna stop making this, but other companies step in and they make their own.
Okay.
I've done some research. This is like probably the best tasting one, other than it being hot. It doesn't taste like absolute like garbage.
That
So yeah.
that was a particular memory from the one chip challenge that I did with I think the brand was PAQUI.
Yeah, yes, that.
Yeah. So I tried that and well, I ate the whole thing. I kept it down, but it was like a stomach ache for a couple of hours.
Oh no, did you do it on an empty stomach?
No,
Oh, okay.
it was just that bad. It was like
Ooh.
a really bad stomach ache, and the flavor was atrocious. It just was. It wasn't even a chip. It just disintegrated into powder. So just so you know, when you bite into this, it's not a corn chip with like powder. It is like powder in the shape of a corn chip.
Oh no.
It is a spiteful creation of humanity, and yeah, that's why I'm like, just you know, be careful, man. Like for real, it's no, it's a spiteful, hateful creation.
I'll let you know how I managed this one. I do regularly eat fairly spicy
Me too.
chili. So
Like
I do
habaneros and
condition
stuff,
myself.
I'm fine with. I like the flavor.
Mhm.
You know, ghost peppers, like, yeah, all right, that's kind of spicy. The one chip challenge though is like, I just snorted some
I,
mace.
you know what? They put some like pure like capsaicin in there. So yeah,
Exactly.
it's not even like whatever Viper Ghost Chili X whatever. It's
No,
nothing. It's not even based on like actual pepper anymore. It's
no,
just distilled,
it's like
chemical.
the cinnamon challenge, you know, where like you just take a mouthful of cinnamon powder. It's it's like that. It's not
Oh
hard because
no.
like it's
The
just
texture and
inedible.
everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, well,
Anyways, that's
I'll do it on
that's
stream
cool.
and see how that goes.
Everybody, I'm asking you to go watch Baku's stream. It is pinned in the pinned comment here on YouTube, and if anybody watches Baku pass out, call for a paramedic or something. Like, just we need people standing by in case
Oh, yeah, in
Baku
case
needs
anything
medical
happens.
care.
I have some friends, I have some local friends who will be watching, and I've told them if anything happens to me, call 911. You know my address. Like send them my
Okay,
way.
okay,
Yeah.
you do
So
have okay, you have a buddy system going on. Good,
yeah,
good.
and also I also owe a bunch of push-ups, so I'll be doing some push-ups too.
Okay,
I am a
that's even
glutton for
scarier.
punishment. Yeah,
The
for
only
every
thing
ten
scarier than a one chip
dollars.
challenge is a nerd trying to do physical activity.
Well, for every $10 they donate, I'm doing one push-up. And again, I was expecting them to at most get to $2,500 in 2 days. So that would be what, like 250 push-ups. That's it. Like, okay, it's a lot, but I can do it. Right now, the new goal is $5,000. So I could potentially have to do 500 push-ups, and that scares me a lot. Because I don't typically do push-ups. I'm not
Hydrate.
the
Hydrate.
Oh,
That's
hydrate
that's
before
a
I hydrate. That's
for real. For real.
for sure.
That can actually cause serious issues if you're not in the habit of working out.
Oh God, I have a bottle of water right here.
Yeah, just start pushing water now.
Start hydrating now. Yeah, so we'll have 12 hours of fun. Hope that you guys will come by and hang out. I appreciate again all the and by the way, really appreciate all the people coming by to watch our show today because it's a Friday and you guys are not going out. You guys are here. What's going on? Like it's not our usual time. So for all of you guys who are here, you're really dedicated. You're like, oh yeah, let's go. Like we
The
haven't
real
seen them
ones.
in 2 weeks. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for being here to witness that we are both in fact alive and well, just a little busy, but still in one piece.
All right. Speaking of One Piece, no, I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and move on to some RPG news. So
Yes.
let
All
me
right.
do
Let's
this thing
talk about
here.
this one.
Um,
Uh yeah,
let's
so we've
see.
got this really cool game that we've talked about a couple of times before called Divine Dynamo Flamefrit. Where it started off as a April Fool's joke from Indie Create, the folks who did like what is it, like Azure,
Oh,
wait,
Azure Striker Gunvolt.
Azure Striker, yeah, Gunvolt.
Hmm.
They do really cool platform games, and then they had like a April Fool's joke. Remember, Derek? And then I showed it to you because it was just so funny. And then they're
And we
like, no.
both, if you recall, we
Mhm.
both knew, like when we saw that, we're like, they're making this.
Yeah, they're totally making this. They're totally gonna do it. And in fact, they did. They're like, "Huh, just kidding. Double joke to you. We're totally making this game, and now it's here. In fact, it came out officially yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
nice.
we do want to talk about it still. Let's take a look at the trailer, so you can see it.
All right, let's check it out. Okay, I'm a little bit out of practice here, guys.
Hang in there.
After 100 straight episodes of not missing a single week, I'm out of practice after 2 weeks of missing. So hang on. Button.
I can press the play button whenever you switch over.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Got it.
Burn bright!
It's so loud.
Flamefrit. Coming November 21st, 2024.
Yeah.
November 21st.
My soul's burning bright.
Dude,
Yuto Hino
that
and
voice
his
acting,
friends
though.
have been summoned
Oh,
by
that's
the
so
world
90s.
oligarch.
I know. They even do like even the voice acting feels 90s. Like that little bit over the top, like animated kind of like
Oh, yeah.
presentation, you know? For
Yeah,
four
straight
kids.
out of like straight off of like 4Kids TV or something.
Yes.
Practically inseparable.
All right, it's my adventure. Yeah.
With the help of your friends' magic.
I'm an aspiring 4Kids voice actor. Please call
Boss
me.
fights change the game as you switch to first person. Strike them down.
I love the
Even the robot is voiced.
well, of course it is.
Yeah.
And they shout out the name of the attacks.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Surge up. Aqua-Teen.
I love it. I love this. So there are 4 elements, and they're 4 like robots, right? Flamefrit,
Yeah.
the fire one, and then there's like a water and a wind and a whatever, and the earth one. That's cool.
2024.
I love it.
Vinti creates.
So, this game, of course, is available as of yesterday on all modern platforms. And the kicker is this, okay? Guess how much this is? I mean, well, I kind of told you earlier, but pretend that you didn't know and guess how much this game is.
20
Based on what you
bucks.
saw. Nope, less than that.
$30.
I said less, Derek. The other direction.
$45?
Why is it going higher? No,
Because games
it's-
don't come any cheaper than 20. So I'm just taking a stab in the dark at this point. You're distracting me from the truth.
The game is selling for $6.99 US dollars. That's
What?
$7. Yeah,
What?
this game is selling for $7 brand new, and it's not even like a fly by night like indie company. It's Indie Create. Like they're a fairly prolific company with very serious titles, and it's like, oh yeah, here you go, $7. So I don't know, and all those voice acting. I'm like, how are you affording all this voice acting? Nintendo.
I mean, I guess what they're going to be doing is they've got to make it like a multimedia franchise now, right?
Oh my god, I can't wait until the anime comes out for this. I would watch the heck out of this.
They're gonna revive Fox Kids just for this.
Yes, let's do it. And I'm gonna be applying for a role. Yeah, so $7, and if you go to Steam right now, it's like 10% off. For I think the launch week, it's like 10% off. I already bought it,
10%
and I
off the
can't wait to
7?
get it.
So it's like
10%
six.
off.
So it's like $6.30 ish.
Basic. Oh yeah, close enough. Yeah. So
Wow.
there you go. Isn't that crazy?
Wow, that is really, yeah, that's something.
Affordable. I'm not even gonna be mad. If it's bad, I'll be like, whatever. It's like $6. That's like no joke. That is a cup of Starbucks latte. It's like that you just bought.
That's true, and
Starbucks
it'll
latte.
probably last longer than a Starbucks coffee.
Probably
So-
tastes better too.
Well, I mean, so like Starbucks
try
like
licking
coffee that's unflavored, and like the milk drinks are good. Honestly, like they're okay, but like yeah, the Pike roast when it's like just as a drip coffee or like an Americano, nah.
The most burnt beans I've ever tasted in my life. And I'm like, if it wasn't for the free Wi-Fi and my desperate need for caffeine, I would never give money to Starbucks. Oh, God.
But it's that, I will say, it is that like really over roasted flavor, the oily bean that allows it to stand up to all of the sugar and the milk, and you can still kind of taste something almost like coffee at the back. Like I feel like that's the strategy there. It's like just burn the beans and people will be like, oh yeah, that's what coffee tastes like through
Can
all
I
of
give
the
you
syrup.
a quick story about Starbucks?
Sure.
So I don't know if people know this, but Japan is a very serious like coffee culture. They have a
They're
very
serious about
coffee culture.
everything, man.
Oh, they're serious about everything. Like you go to like a local coffee, like local cafe, like they have like the bar, the wooden bar, and like a barista with, and
They
it's
take
just
it
this,
seriously,
like old
like,
dude. Yeah, and
almost
he will
like
like
a.
hand grind the beans and
Oh yeah.
like do the drip. It's
I've
crazy,
been wanting to
right?
go. I've been hearing a lot about Glitch Coffee in Tokyo,
Mhm.
but also there is an actual place that the cafe from Persona 5 was modeled after that you can actually go to, and like,
Yes, you
yeah,
can.
and it's
Yeah.
super awesome. So, anyways, go ahead.
Okay,
Go,
yeah, but
continue.
basically the thing that you've seen from like Persona, right? That's a very real thing, and it's all over the place in Japan. Not just in Tokyo, not just one or two shops, but like all over the place, and they're all like independently owned. So Starbucks
Yeah.
has to compete against those, and guess what? Starbucks can't. So you know what they do in Japan? You know what Starbucks is known for in
Do
Japan?
they just? Let me guess. Do they? Oh, what they're known for in
They're
Japan?
known for? Yeah, I mean they are there. They're known for two things.
Oh my
Do you
gosh.
know what they
Okay.
are?
I feel like I could
Positive
probably
things,
guess if
positive
I
things.
think about it. If I think on
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
okay. The first thing that they're probably known for is probably their banana bread or like some sort of like confections, right? No?
Oh no, bread.
Okay.
The bread game in Japan is crazy. They are no.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Well, okay, the other
Yakikate
thing
Japan has taught you anything.
the other thing that I assumed is that they're probably known for their fried chicken. Cause like in Japan, it's gonna be one of those weird things that they don't even have here in the United States, and it's just like this like random like oh yeah Starbucks, you go there for tacos in Japan.
Yeah, duh. Everyone
Duh.
knows Starbucks is for tacos.
Because that's always something like that, like because like even KFC is like in Japan, like their chicken is
Roast
actually supposed to be
chicken.
really good.
KFC chicken in Japan is actually really good, and
See-
so is Domino's pizza. I kid you not. Like, just I don't know
because-
why they're so good, but they
Because
are.
not even a soulless corporation can make a Japanese person not give a shit about their work. I think that's probably part of it.
That's probably
even
it.
paying the bare minimum wage in Japan probably cannot break the spirit of constant improvement.
Oh boy. No, they're known for two things that there's actually on brand. One is they're known for dessert drinks because they're so sweet that they're not even coffee. They're just dessert drinks. Like, so you want like a little pick me up, like a dessert, you go to Starbucks. And the other thing is for their
Curry.
like mugs and like tumblers.
Okay. Okay.
They-
I was gonna say
they're-
the other
they're
has to
really-
be their curry or something.
No, that's the local cafe.
You're probably right, actually. God dang it.
Yep, no, they can't outcompete. So yeah, no, fun story about Starbucks. Anywho, yeah, Flamefrit, check it out. It came out yesterday. You can get it on any platform, any modern platform. So you don't really have an excuse. I bought it on Steam. If it plays well, maybe I'll put it on the Switch too. I don't know. Maybe I'll take Flamefrit to go.
All right. Let's go ahead and check out this this next one here. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake came out on the 14th. So it's already been out for a little over a week now. It came out on PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, Switch, and PC via Steam. And we have the launch trailer for that too to look at.
Yeah, I added it just so we can geek out together because it is DQ and
I mean,
we
we're
need
not
to
going to
give our
not
due
talk
respect.
about it.
Yeah, we have to give our due respect. Like this is like one of the, originators, if you will, of JRPG, right? We have
Yeah.
to.
It
We
is.
can't not. Sorry, it is mandatory that we talk about it, even if it came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely legendary.
Oh, that music gives me. So when I was a kid, I would watch my older brother play Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
So I kind of grew up like listening to these music from him playing Dragon Quest and me just watching him play. because I'm not allowed to touch the controller. Not until I was 6 years old. But yeah, no, I would watch and play the Dragon Quest on the original Famicom. So this music's very nostalgic for me.
Yeah, I played this on the NES maybe 7 years ago at this point. The original, I mean, not original because it's definitely been revamped on its way to the West, but I've still got a pretty soft spot for this thing in my heart.
Yeah.
This was the first one that really started, in my opinion, to feel like the Dragon Quest that I knew from Dragon Quest VIII and such.
I'm gonna wager that they're gonna HD 2D the two most popular DQ and FF title. They have to. There's no way they won't.
Could you imagine if they didn't? Yeah,
I think a lot of people would cancel Square Enix if they don't.
But they're gonna do it in their own good time too.
Yeah. Whenever they do, it better be good.
Because
it better be good.
Man,
it looks so good. It looks so good.
So what else do you think? I mean, obviously they're doing this, and 1 and 2 has already been announced.
Yeah.
What do you think is the next one that they're gonna do for Dragon Quest?
Probably 4.
You think
and
4?
Then 5.
I was thinking straight to 5.
You don't think they'll do 4?
I mean, they made the Dragon Quest Your Story based off of Dragon Quest 5. How do I? Oh, I need to pause that. Thanks.
I got it.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like they totally just play favorites with certain games. They definitely have their own favorites, and unless they're gonna do 4, 5, and 6 together, and they might, and that would be fine.
Yeah.
Unless they want to do all 3 of those, because I think that's another sort of trilogy within the Dragon Quest series, right? Then they'll probably just go with 5, because that's like the other favorite of Japan. And
oh yeah, 5 is definitely 5's the one that I played personally, and
I also loved 5. By the way, I do love 4. I do really, really love 4 from the NES, but I think that 5 is what I'd put my money on. I still haven't played 6. I need to.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I was doing my whole Dragon Quest retrospective, and I was like, after the first 5 games, I'm going to take a little break, come back to 6, because 6 looks like it's going to be really cool, and it's going to have the taller character sprites. And I was like, I'll come back to this soon.
And you never did.
Story of my life.
Oh boy, yeah, no. I said that I was gonna take a break from East, and then come back and finish them. And at that time, there were only 2 games left before I finished the whole series. And now there are 4, and that list is gonna continue to grow. I've been stuck on not going back to East for like 2-3 years, and I feel terrible.
Falcom has been doing that to me too, man. I was this close to catching up with Trails. This close, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna take a little break, and then now I'm 3 games behind already, because
oh jeez,
because Daybreak 2 is coming out in like January or something like that, which is just nuts, absolutely nuts. And yeah. Anyways,
I respect the fact that they're able to, translate them now so quickly. But yeah,
I know. I'm so glad about that. Now, Dragon Quest 3, real quick. People have been asking me if I've played it yet. No. And I'm probably not going to, not because of like any of the localization changes or any of the drama around that stuff, because that doesn't bug me at all.
I forgot all about those drama already.
I know. But anyway, it's not because of that. It's simply because I've already played it relatively recently. I've already got a full review of the original, and anything that they've done to this is just going to be tinkering around the edges, and it's going to be fantastic and beautiful. Like, how many times do you need me to say HD 2D graphics, they do look good though. Like,
Do be good.
at a certain point, I feel like that's all that's left to say is like, man, those people with the HD 2D, they do sure look good. They know what they're doing.
Very aesthetic.
Very, very beauty, much bloom. You know,
Much bloom.
I mean, for real, I don't know what else I could contribute. I haven't played it though, but now Octopath, not Octopath, Triangle Strategy though. I did have some to say about the port to VR. Did we talk about that during the last episode of HitPoint? Was that out by then?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was if we had talked about it then. That was interesting.
It was
for
so
sure.
cool. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. So if you have a Quest, try that out. But otherwise, yeah, I might take a look at it when it's retro or something. When it's too late to be mad, you know, that's when I typically talk about games, is when it's too late to make a difference.
Retro game.
When
even a remake is retro.
Yeah, exactly. Man, that's how I roll. So
Oh boy.
let's go ahead and move on to the next game.
Sure thing. The next game is also from Square Enix. This game also needs no introduction, I believe. If you're a viewer of this show, you know what this thing is, and it's called Fantasian Neo Dimension. Of course, it is a game that was done by the father of Final Fantasy, Sakaguchi himself, and it's a game that he had created after he had left Square Enix, and it was originally exclusively on Apple Arcade, but now it is being, I think it is being like remastered and then also published onto modern platforms. So it looks really good. Let's take a look at it, and then we can talk a little bit more.
It's so exciting that this is
I
finally
know.
coming to a platform with an audience.
I'm finally gonna play this without having to touch an Apple product. This music is so intense. I was like, what is going on?
I know. It sounds like they're remaking One Winged Angel or something.
Yes.
Like, it's got that energy.
And you know what? This is the last game, according to Uematsu, that he's gonna score from start to finish. That's it.
Yes.
This is it. He's not gonna do. I mean, he would still make music. He's not going away. But he's
Correct.
never gonna do like an entire game ever again.
Yeah, this is his last entire game.
Yeah.
Because
full game.
he's an old dude, you know?
He's an old dude. He's quite aged.
You know, like a fine wine, but he's also probably pretty financially stable and only does the jobs that he feels like doing.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not about. Well, I mean, here's the other thing that I feel like if I was Uematsu, right, and I've already got the reputation, I've got the money, and never mind that I want to like take my days off or whatever, but like, I feel like I don't want to hog the opportunity from younger composer either.
That
Because if I keep doing everything, then what are they doing, right? Like, you got to give them opportunities. So I step away, like, gracefully. Be like, no, this is you guys now. I'm in my 70s. I'm not taking up this, like, I'm not taking up the mental, you know?
that's
Like, I've done it.
That's a very altruistic approach that I feel very few people take these days.
Well, Uematsu would believe it because, you know, if you see his, like, professional trajectory, he doesn't
Oh yeah.
stick around. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm gonna do the things I'd like to do, and I'm gonna have fun, you know? Like, like Black Mage, that's him just like, I'm just gonna have fun and do, like, a rock thing. Like, yeah, it's just not meant to be, like, anything famous or anything.
So, music aside, the rest of this trailer looks pretty dope as well.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we tangent off to the music, but, you know, it's a big part, but
I mean,
the game looks amazing.
It absolutely does. That's one of the things I loved about it before. It's for those of you who couldn't quite tell from the trailer, most of the game's environments are I think we've already talked about this once, but they're real life dioramas that they've just taken a series of like really high definition photos of and like use them in like you would reuse a pre-rendered background from a PlayStation era video game. it looks so cool.
You know what? Like, I feel like part of me feels like that limited, what's the word? Like the limited
The
resources potentially that he has to work with, like
Mhm.
sparks certain innovations still.
Oh,
Like
that
if
is
you, yeah,
absolutely a thing for artists.
yeah,
What's the limitations are the mother of creativity or something like that.
something like that. Yeah,
It's it's something to that effect where basically the more constraints you put on something, the more creative they have to be.
yeah,
And that therefore just yields inherently different results than, unfettered power, which is
yeah,
probably why so many games these days, even though they look just absolutely stunning, can look so uninspired.
yeah. Oh boy.
Like they can be technically a marvel and yet at the same time fall completely flat. I mean, Babylon fell. Babylon's fail. Yeah,
But the
I can't
graphics
remember
was
what it's
the
called.
issue. There, the graphics. The graphics.
Like if we had seen that game 10 years ago, if we had seen that game 10 years ago, people would be like, "Oh my god," they totally
Whoa.
would have just been like, no, for real. But
Mhm.
I mean, there were other things that obviously held it back.
Yeah.
But it also just looked super generic, which also didn't
Yeah.
really help it.
Mm.
So you can have something. That's the thing. The more close to reality you can make a game look, the more generic it is going to look in turn. Because by definition, if everything is trying to look realistic, photorealistic, then everything will look the same and generic and bland and boring. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. That is very well put. Sometimes I see these games, and I hate to do this to Square Enix because right, we just talked
I mean,
about this.
they are
But
doing
it's
a really good job.
FF16.
They're turning around. They
Yeah,
are, I think, slowly turning things around. So with that
I
said,
think so. Romance Saga
poop
2
away on them.
looks great. I want more of that. Okay, ready
Okay.
to move on to the next thing?
Yeah. Wow. Did we bring up Square Enix and then not shit on them?
Just for today. I don't want to piss off any fans. I don't want any
Okay.
pitchforks coming my way. Not yet.
I feel like that's a rarity. Man, okay. It's just gonna bring them up and then let them. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game here, which is Sea of Stars: Dawn of Equinox. Now, this game is obviously it's been out for over a year, but what is new is their Dawn of Equinox multiplayer feature update that just released, and that came out on a date that I don't remember. But anyways, there's local that is non-networked co-op. So I was for a while it wasn't entirely clear if it was going to be like local LAN co-op or if it was going to be like multiplayer over the internet but this is couch co-op, so you have to have like one system but you can both like use a controller, and anyway, so it's local couch co-op. It has a refined English script, a
Ooh,
Quebecois
refined.
localization if you are French Canadian. They have a
Wait,
new
what?
yeah French Canadian localization,
Uh,
Quebecois.
so what's the difference between that and just straight up French?
Well, one of them has a few more A's.
Is that right? I've never studied French, so I have no idea. This is not a me picking on them. I really don't know.
I think that there is a difference, kind of like how Portuguese is different in Portugal and Brazil. It's
Oh,
it's
that's fair,
similar,
yeah.
but kind of like how yeah, it's just got slight difference. I'm assuming. I don't know. But anyways, there's also a combat system 2.0 that introduces some features that were cut from the original that were added to like rebalance and increase difficulty and incentivize the use of new skills and stuff. And the reason I know so much about it is because I made a whole video over on Super Dark RPG's YouTube channel, where you should check that out if you haven't already. It was so fun. I got to play multiplayer
whole
co-op with a
video?
buddy. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Video.
a whole video, dude. Oh man, it was actually a lot of fun, and it was also sponsored, but it was fun. I
was a
already loved the
great
game,
video.
and it is now better than ever. And I think I might actually play it again, maybe
You
like-
should.
because I wouldn't stream it. Because I've already played it, and I think I've already streamed it once. Did I do that, or did I play
Did
that
you?
offline? I don't know. But if I do play it again, it'll be co-op with Amy, and I think that would be a lot of fun because
Oh yeah.
like because then I could just like not have to worry about like, am I playing it with other people? Am I doing a gameplay capture? I have no intention of making another like YouTube video about the game. So as a result, I can just hook it up to the TV in the living room and not worry about capture setups and all that stuff. So
Oh geez, yes. That is
I know.
a content creator headache that if you don't stream or do videos, you have no idea. how
I
annoying this
know.
thing is.
So yeah, I could actually do that. And anyways, I actually might, because Amy does like RPGs occasionally. She's beat the Pokemon Scarlet,
Mhm. Oh, this
But-
could be so much fun with like the buddy combat thing.
I know it is,
Yeah.
dude. The navigation is actually so much more fun. Like I already enjoyed the navigation of like climbing around and like doing the puzzles and stuff. But there's some aspects of it that you can kind of cheat a little bit with the co-op functionality of like popping yourself into a bubble and then like zooming yourself across the screen to where the other person is. Yeah, I feel like there's also a lot of speedrun uses there for people who want that. But anyways, it has a new trailer to go along with the Dawn of Equinox
Yes.
trailer. Now this is not to be confused with the
Upcoming DLC.
upcoming like story DLC that
Oh yeah.
yeah, this is just a feature update, but they will have Throes of the Watchmaker. Okay, you see how that guy was in a bubble, just like being dragged along. I love it.
Oh, like this.
Yes, it's. Oh yeah, so you can like high five each other, and that gives you a speed boost.
What?
So that's what that. So yeah, that's what the trailing stars mean. And if you like run into like the other area while that's still active, the timer on that it resets. So like
Oh.
you can like maintain your speed boosts. I didn't get a show off. You can. I think that there's like some co-op fishing mode. There's a versus on the Wheels game. Wheels is the in-game mini game where you can like almost. I don't even know how to describe it. It's weird. Oh yeah, new animated
cinematic.
cutscenes. Combat 2.0.
Combat 2.0.
Okay, so you see how it has the you can't see what the locks are in the top until you hit them. So yeah, you see that how it when you hit them it unlocks it shows what the lock is. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the whole new prologue. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
bunch of things. Wow.
It
I'm
is-
waiting for the DLC to come out, then I'll play the whole thing all at once. That's what I'm waiting for. I put it off because I was like, I'm just gonna play this one time, like start to finish. So I'm waiting for the DLC.
I'm kind of ridiculously hyped over it, even though I've already beat the game. Like, part of me wishes I hadn't played it yet so I could play it now, but
Oh my god, yeah. Aren't there some games where it's like it's just so good that you're like, I wish I can selectively remove those memory just so I can experience it again, fresh.
I mean, the immediate game that comes to mind when you say that is obviously Chrono Trigger and Earthbound and Terra Enigma. Like,
Yeah.
maybe not Chrono Cross. I feel like Chrono Cross gets better the more you play it. Like,
Okay.
because you know like what the secrets are to get the cool characters that you want and stuff. Which is probably why you don't like it very much.
Because you want me to play it a couple more times? and
Yeah,
see
I
if
think
like it
I think
more?
I think subsequent playthroughs you would appreciate it more. It ages like a fine wine.
All of my complaints are just gonna disappear. It's like,
I think
just play it until you like it.
you know, Baku. I just think all you need is a little dose of Stockholm syndrome. No. Oh no, he's
No.
dying.
The the correct. I think the correct term here is repeated exposure therapy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's just. Okay.
Yeah, eventually you'll see reason, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, in between all the Alundra and Quest 64 playthrough, I'm sure I can fit
I
some
mean-
Chrono Cross in there.
Did you see in our last episode, people were saying that you owe us an Alundra stream?
I do? For what?
Somebody said it. It wasn't me. I don't know.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
tell you what, if we can
somehow. Oh, go ahead.
if we can hit 1,000 sub before the year ends, I'll play Alundra.
Okay, hold on. How about instead of before?
It's like 2 months.
Let's push it to January, by the end of January,
But
because
that's too easy. Really?
it's here's the thing.
okay.
I mean, we're gonna be skipping a few weeks here pretty soon, so it's
That's
really
fair.
only
okay.
2 weeks.
Okay, you know what? It's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Fair is fair. Okay, end of January. If we can hit 1,000 follow by the end of January, I will gladly play Alundra.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe gladly is an overstatement, but I'll play it. I will play it.
All right, you heard it here first. All right, sub bet.
If Derek can play Silent Hill 2, I suppose I can play Alundra.
All right,
Ugh.
cool. Okay, so yeah, go check out Sea of Stars. And what is this next thing here that's on my screen? Baku, can you tell me about this?
Announcements. Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to new game announcement, where I had posted a full-on Moon Rune video for Derek to read. He's like, "What's this thing?"
I saw the Moon Runes. Yeah.
Let me tell you about this. Okay. So, speaking of games that I'm super stoked for, this next one is about Max Monster, which is a game from Olden Cat that it came out some time ago. And the reason we're talking about them again is because they've just announced they'll be releasing a DLC for their narrative turn-based RPG called Max Monster. And the DLC is called Lost Memories. Now, it's going to feature somewhere between 90 to 120 minutes of gameplay, according to the developer. And it's going to talk about the monsters' past lives and whatnot. So let's take a look at the trailer and I can tell you a little bit more about this.
All right. Yeah. Here's the button.
Yeah. So Max Monster is about a world where it's underground, and there's this little girl named Meg who somehow got dropped into this world with monsters. And whenever she cries, the monster have deduced that she has the power to destroy the world. So these two scary monsters need to stop her from crying, basically. But as you can imagine, this little baby in this world filled with scary monsters, and they're all trying to eat her, kind of hard to stop her from crying. So as you're doing the turn-based RPG section, you also have to not only defeat the opponent, but you have to protect her from getting hurt. Because guess what? If she gets hurt to a certain degree, she's going to start crying and the world ends. So it is a super cool RPG. And it's one of
really
those,
lighthearted too, right?
Oh, it is lighthearted. Olden Cat does not make lighthearted games. No, prepare to cry like nonstop in this game.
Tears of joy. Tears of joy. It's a pick me up.
Sure. Yeah. Lots of depression. No, it's not depression. I think this game has a lot of heartfelt moments. Lots of them. And they hit you in waves. It just doesn't end. Just when you think the pain is over, it's not, and then you're gonna want to cry again. But it's a very touching story. I was this close to crying on stream, very close, but ooh, man, I held it in. I was choking up as I was reading.
Choking up like you were eating the death nut.
Yeah, basically. It was so hard because there's no voice acting. So I'm like, I have to read all these lines and like I'm trying to stop myself from crying. And I was like,
I know. Getting a little bit clamped. Hmm.
No, but I highly recommend the game. You know how sometimes we talk about like gameplay as using gameplay and mechanics as like storytelling elements.
Yeah.
This game does it amazing. And I wish that like other developer would take note. Like the way that the whole premise of needing to protect the little girl is built into the battle and built into the narrative. Like that's the kind of thing that I want to see more of. So,
All right. Do you hear that? All the Tylers out there?
Yeah, all the Tylers out there. No, I think the Tylers know, and that's why Quartet was so good because the Tylers know. It's all the other non-Tylers. They need to get on Tyler's level.
You need to get more Tylers on your team.
You need to get more Tylers on your team. So there's no exact date at the moment for this DLC. However, they are planning for a global digital release that should come sometime after April 2025. So that's the reason why I'm showing it, even though it's Moon Runes, because the English game is already out there and that they are planning a digital release. So
Nice.
but it's gonna be like next year. So I can't wait.
All right. Well, with the time that we have left, I'm going to talk a little bit about this game called The Time We Have Left, or The Time I Have Left. Developer Ground Game Atelier just announced that they will be releasing a time-driven escape adventure turn-based RPG.
That's mouthful.
A mouthful, yeah. Called The Time I Have Left.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it The Time I Have Left? Or is it like The Time That I Left? No, okay. It's just curious about the inflection of that title. The Time I Have Left. Okay, follow the protagonist, Aline, who has 6 hours left to live as she endures different near-death experiences and escapes her fate. Is this another horror game? Baku, how dare you? Okay, anyways. Here's the trailer. It's probably fine. I trust you, Baku.
Totally not going to be. I would never do that to you, ever. So this game looks amazing. The premise is very interesting, and so I saw that, and I'm like, yeah, we have to talk about it. Yeah, it's fairly grotesque. Monster,
yeah, okay. It's turn-based. Okay,
yeah, I don't think it's horror. It's like,
nah.
I mean, if this is horror, then like SMT is horror. Like it's kind of grotesque, but like it's also a pretty interesting design. And it is absolutely turn-based. I think honestly they probably have some SMT like
inspirations
in the monster design anyways. But it looks really cool. It looks really unique. And I saw it and I'm like, no, we have to talk about this. We have to.
That does look cool.
Unfortunately, slight horror at least. But
no, that's fine.
I'm
just joshing. It said RPG there, so hey,
it's definitely an RPG. I saw that and they're like, well, you're calling to me. If you said RPG, I will showcase you. So yes. No, it's absolutely turn-based. Absolutely.
And it says something about extra turn there, so it's probably got something like a press-based, turn-based RPG system.
You know what it kind of looks like? If Parasite Eve can be a turn-based game. Like pure turn-based, not the kind of move around turn-based. Like
I wonder if this is almost like what's it called? The game where you turn back time with Zelda.
The game you turn
the
back time,
Majora's Mask.
Maybe
it's a little bit Majora's Masky, where like you have like 6-hour increments to advance the story or to like accomplish a thing.
Keep dying over and over until you can correct the fate.
Yeah,
it could be.
That's how I would do it if I had a game that had to be done in 6 hours, I guess. Or maybe it's one of those things where you have to do a perfect run.
It's literally 6 hours real time, and you better get that perfect ending, right?
Otherwise, you waste an entire 6 hours of your life. That's the problem that I have with those kinds of games.
Well, no, see, it could have like multiple ending kind of deal, where like if you don't do it a certain way, then you go for a certain ending, and then subsequent playthrough makes it easier because you
That
want to
could
go
be.
for different endings. I can see
Yeah.
that happening too. So
It's a pretty
regardless,
looking game.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know yet because here's the thing: there's no release date for this game. It is currently being developed for PC, for Steam. The Kickstarter, there's a Kickstarter to this.
Currently
is
has
up.
6 hours left.
Yeah. That's no. Bad Derek. No, there are 28 days left for it. But you know what's interesting about this, and I do kind of wish maybe people looking for Kickstarter can try to do something like this. The demo is also available on Steam while the Kickstarter is fresh.
Oh,
So
sick.
yeah, so you can try the game, and they said that it's going to be like maybe an hour or two worth of content in the demo. You can try it and see if you like it, then decide if you want to back the game. And of course, the game could still change because it's still relatively early and they're doing the Kickstarter now. But I think it's pretty neat. I think they have a lot of faith in this project, and that's why they're willing to give you a demo to try the game out. I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to try it because it looks so interesting. I want to see what this thing is about.
And that's the beauty
So-
about early demos is like they can also take in feedback early on
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then, make adjustments early. So
Yeah,
that's sick.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely check that out. And well, I guess we can't link the Kickstarter link anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what? The game
It's
again
called
is called
The Time I Have Left. Yeah.
The Time I Have Left.
No. The Time I Have Left. The Time I Have Left.
The
Okay.
time I what? Anyways, industry news.
Industry news. All
With
right.
the time we have left, we will be talking about industry news.
All right. Well, not all of the time we have left, but some of that time left, we will definitely be talking about the time I have left.
Yes.
Industry news is left.
Yes.
Anyways,
You want to start this one or?
yeah, I threw this one on here without really any details, but the Nintendo Switch has a successor on the way. By the way, last time
Don't
I did
say.
mention that they had until the end of the year to announce to make an announcement about it, because turns out that's the end of the Japanese fiscal year, which ends in March. So that's just like a little like side note. Set that aside for later. But the other thing though is that Nintendo's starting to actually like provide some details about the Super Nintendo Switch, which is weird. That they haven't announced it, but they're like, oh yeah, that thing that we haven't announced. Well, here's one of those key details. They've confirmed that it will in fact be backwards compatible with the Nintendo Switch, which I think has a couple of good things that we can kind of take from that or take with that. And one of those is that it sounds like the existing Nintendo Switch Online services are also going to be able to work with the Super Nintendo Switch, which I am tentatively calling it, which is nice because we know because of that they're not going to utterly screw over everybody all over again by closing a store and everybody losing all of the access to the digital games that they have purchased over the years. Because as we know, Nintendo has a very lackluster history with digital only downloads. But the other cool thing is that, so the digital stuff is going to be able to move forward to your Nintendo Switch, and you can play physical Nintendo Switch games that are in your library as well. And I think I was personally a little concerned that they were going to nix that after the revelation of the MIG Switch, which is this. It's a really it's as a device that allows you to play games without taking your whole library with you everywhere. That's kind of neat, I suppose. Is it worth what it's costing people at this point for like the game dumper and the Switch, the MIG Switch itself? Probably not. I wouldn't probably pay $100 for the whole kit to be able to make copies of my games onto a portable cartridge like that. But what it did do, though, is it raised some concerns of a couple of things. It's really easy to make a fake pirated game, or copy of like maybe a really rare game and sell it on eBay. So keep your eyes out for that, by the way, guys. Don't get scammed if you are into collecting Switch games, because it'd be really easy just to like switch out the case and then put a fake label over top, and it would be so easy to make a pirate. But here's the thing with what? What's got you so? You all right?
Remember what we were talking about during the pre-show?
About
What the printout with the
oh yeah.
Seriously?
Okay. I feel like in order to not omit half of our audience, the whole at the very beginning before Baku and I were streaming, somebody commented that they had just finished watching episode 5 of HitPoint, and in it, one of those things that one of those news items was talking about the alternate cover for, was it Octopath Traveler 2?
No, it's Triangle
Strategy. Yeah, you could redeem a certain number of platinum reward points from Nintendo in order to access the digital download of this alternate cover that you could then print and download and cut out and make yourself. So
when you start talking about like counterfeiting like Switch games and printing out things, I'm like, I mean,
okay. So anyways, keep your eyes out for potential fakes of like rare Switch games for one. But then the other thing that I was going to mention, though, is that I was afraid that they were going to let that be the thorn in their side that would prevent them from including another slot for Switch games, because I feel like it would be very difficult to accomplish that without some sort of without also allowing that to work on the Super Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That's just kind of like the big thing that's on my mind right now as far as this, is it even an announcement? Just a confirmation, I guess. It's cool. It makes me happy. And I'm hopeful that the Super Nintendo Switch will also enhance the existing Switch games, maybe just run them like a Switch Pro or something, Yeah,
just a little bit. Native 1080 would be nice. Or maybe if not native, like scaled to 1080 would be nice. Yeah, it's probably not going to be native. What am I saying? But like, because the code in there is not meant for it. But if you could just scale it up to 1080, I'll take it.
Well, more details should be forthcoming by the end of March. So we'll be sure to tell you more as more comes to light. But yeah, fingers crossed. They haven't confirmed anything that screws the pooch yet. So good.
Well, yeah, I can't wait to hear more about it. Probably not going to buy it at launch. I typically wait a little bit for like a good limited edition to come out, then I snatch it. But yeah, totally excited for the next edition of the Switch. I'm very, very tired of the hardware, as I mentioned before, but the new hardware with that same portability, very much welcome. I love traveling with my Switch because I don't have a what is that thing called again? The deck?
Steam Deck. Yeah,
I don't have a Steam Deck, so my alternative is the Switch, and it's great. I just wish that it's not a bad. It's a great handheld still. Like,
yeah, you just wish it was a little bit better.
That's a console, anyways.
It's aged a
when
little.
I'm playing at home. Because most of the time I'm playing this thing, I'm playing at home. So
yeah,
I want an 80%, increase in the time that I spent with it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next piece of industry news. Shenmue 3 publishing rights are being transferred. What?
Oh, it's Shenmue 3. Just
Shenmue. Shenmue.
Yeah.
Shenmue.
It's a nonsense name, but Shenmue 3, yeah, publishing rights have been transferred. Who to?
To from Deep Silver to ININ Games and YSNet. YSNet being the developer of Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
This is interesting because I didn't think that we would hear any Shenmue news in 2024. With the last game being that it was not too well received, let's just say. I had thought that there just really wouldn't be any other news, but the fact that they are they're bothering to transfer the publishing right at all makes me feel like maybe they are planning for something else after
Yeah,
this.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
you wouldn't buy it unless you wanted to do something with it, right?
Right. So that's interesting. So and I quote, with this transfer, the story of Shenmue is far from over. We have exciting plans to celebrate these anniversaries, ensuring that this beloved series continues to thrive and inspire. Keep an eye out for upcoming announcements as we unveil our vision for the next phase of the Shenmue legacy. That is impressive. This came from an announcement from ININ Games. So apparently they're going to be doing something with this.
I guess so. That was not on my bingo card.
No, absolutely not. I did not think I would hear anything Shenmue related in 2024, and here we are. So wow.
Yeah. I mean, legit, I still haven't played Shenmue 3. I haven't heard the great. I haven't played Shenmue 2. I played Shenmue 1, but that's it. And I really liked it. I wanted to play Shenmue 2. I really wanted to try Shenmue 3 at some point, but I assumed when I heard people talking about it, it didn't sound like it resonated super well with, what people were hoping for or expecting, hype responsibly. So I kind of assumed that was probably going to be the last we heard from Shenmue,
Right.
and probably from Yu Suzuki entirely. So
Yeah.
I'm glad, and I hope. I would really like it if maybe they did like an anime to finish out the series or something to like tell the whole story from start to finish. That would be pretty cool.
Didn't they have one? I could have sworn. It was on like Netflix or something. No?
Was it? Oh, I don't know. You might be right. I have no idea.
I don't remember.
I feel like I remember hearing about plans, but they might have fallen through. Because I don't remember hearing if it was any good or not.
No, there is a Shenmue the animation,
Oh,
and it was
was it
2022. Yeah, I was right.
was it like a recap
It was a
of
Netflix.
was it like a recap of Shenmue 1 and 2 maybe, or
Shenmue the animation, Japanese anime television series, yada yada. It was on It was licensed by Crunchyroll and Adult Swim, and it aired between February 2022 and May 2022. So it's not that long ago. That's why I was like, I have a very like recent recollection that we watched an anime trailer of Shenmue.
yeah,
yeah.
you are right.
Yeah,
I do remember.
Totally talked
I
about
remember
this.
I remember it got copy striked, and we're like, "Yep, we're not doing that again."
That's how I remembered. Oh, the pain.
Gotta
Good
love
times.
it. Okay.
Good times. Yeah, good times. So yeah, Shenmue anime totally exists. I mean, I would love for them to, if they are going to go through with this, I mean, maybe live action wouldn't be bad.
How's that Yakuza live action going?
I didn't watch it. I didn't bother.
I didn't hear good things.
I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to be. I love the game. I've seen there. I mean, okay, there has been live action adaptation for Yakuza in the past.
Yeah.
And it's one of those so bad it's funny and potentially good depending on who you are kind of situation. It didn't resonate with me, but some people liked it and it's kind of a cult thing. I just don't think I need it.
Okay.
I think the game is good enough. Yeah.
All right. Well,
So,
honestly, I wish, and I guess that there's, for some reason, I have this like connection between Shenmue and Yakuza in my head, and I think it's because they both do some things similarly.
I think so. Yeah.
But I wish that Shenmue was half as successful at what it does as Yakuza or
Oh, yeah.
RGG is at what it does. Because that I don't know.
So with Shenmue 3 and Mr. Suzuki, if you're listening, sir, I doubt you are, but if you were,
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine Mr. Yu Suzuki is just like, go on, tell me what I haven't heard, young man.
Go for
Listen, I think the main problem with Shenmue 3 is that Shenmue 2 was made so long ago, so there's a lot of design philosophy that probably made more sense back then.
it. Mhm.
And it just didn't really catch up with the times. Like what the tastes of people have changed, what we want as gamers have changed. So it's more about just keeping what is like essential about Shenmue, but being able to adapt to what the current generation of gamers want. And I don't mean generation as in like Gen Z and Gen Alpha. No, I mean like we're in the current generation of gamers. We have, busy lives, right? Like we
Mhm.
don't we don't have that much time to play, so maybe don't make it so dreadful for certain things for the sake of realism, let's say. Talking about Shenmue 3, like they did this thing where like if you walk, even if you just walk around, your stamina will drain and your health will drain and you will die if you just like don't eat. And it becomes like it becomes a running joke where like the guy would just keep munching on like mushrooms or something. And it's just like you try to make it realistic, but then it ends up like not, because like who does that? Like IRL,
Yeah.
right? So those kind of things just becomes a dread and no one enjoys it, right? So it doesn't make sense anymore. So I would hope that they can take Shenmue 3 as kind of like a learning learning experience. Like, hey, look, you haven't made a Shenmue game in so long. You tried, it didn't work out, but you learned, right?
Mhm.
So the next one, Shenmue 4, if it comes out, we should expect none of those things to still be there, right? So
Yeah.
let's give it another chance, right? Let's not write it off yet. Let's see what happens as well.
Well,
And thank you, Mr. Suzuki-san. Thank you so much for watching our humble show.
yeah. That is that's an interesting take. I haven't played it yet, so I don't have any thoughts of my own on what can make it better. Except for maybe more sales so they can make better games in the future.
Let's hope so. I hope that for a lot of games.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Star Ocean. I love Star Ocean.
I
just
know.
hate the recent games, but God, I love the Star Ocean world. It's so good.
All right.
Anywho, that moves us to the final piece of industry news, Mr. Derek. What are we going to talk about today?
Guys, Sony is chatting up Kadokawa these days. And it seems like they're looking at him like a snack, because they looking good right now, according to Sony. And Kadokawa has confirmed, in fact, that they've been considering some canoodling.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds very lewd.
It's pretty lewd, because the whole situation's gonna get. No, I don't know. I don't love where this is going. But I don't like when corporations play hungry hippos. I've been on record a time or two before by saying that, hey, how about we stop buying each other? I think that'd be great. But the point of the matter is, Kadokawa is huge. Not as huge as Sony, probably, but they're like big. They have
about 1/10 of the market capital.
Oh, okay.
About a tenth. Yeah. I mean, it's still. I mean, Sony's ginormous. Kadokawa is still big, but like Sony is just a kind of a.
Well,
beast.
Sony, by the way, is not necessarily PlayStation. So this is kind of like when Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard. This is the Japanese version of that. Except Kadokawa doesn't just make games; they are big in anime and games. A few things that you might know them from that I can think of off the top of my head were the From Software. They own From Software, so all the Dark Souls, Bloodborne. Bloodborne's practically already a Sony IP anyway, but they also have the new one, Elden Ring. You know, they also have recently acquired Acquire. Speaking of
they have acquired
acquisitions, so this would mean Octopath Traveler coming under the umbrella of Sony. You know, so Kadokawa has. I mean, I looked at a few Acquire things, and so those are just two studios, and they have more than that. But that's just what I know off the top of my head that I cared about. But they also like make a whole bunch of anime and stuff, and yeah. So what does this mean? What does it all mean, Baku?
Well, I can fill in a little bit more gap. So we're saying what does it mean if Sony were to actually acquire Kadokawa, right? So from the gaming side, you did talk about From Software, where they're not the complete owner, but they are the majority shareholder of From Software, like something like 70%. So pretty darn close to complete ownership. They do own Acquire, like 100%. You know who else they own that people might know from this channel?
From people from this channel?
Yeah, I mean they have quite the history with RPG. Let's say this company, even though they don't really do a lot of RPGs.
I mean, it's
nowadays.
not. It wouldn't be Capcom. Wouldn't be Konami. I'm trying to think of like somebody who's familiar with them but hasn't made them for a while.
Yeah, they used to make RPG. Very well-known ones too.
Oh,
Developed them.
Give me a hint. It's too broad.
It's 2 words.
Bandai Namco.
Their name is 2 words. Oh boy, Bandai. I think that Bandai Namco might be larger than Kadokawa.
Oh man. I think chat might have given it away already. So go ahead.
Yeah,
Man.
it's Spike Chunsoft. That's correct. Spike Chunsoft it is. So Spike Chunsoft, of course, they used to make DQ games.
They made the first.
So
they made the first set of Dragon Quest games.
Yeah. But nowadays, of course, they don't really do RPGs anymore. But you know what they're known for? Danganronpa. So that would go to Sony. Ida Somnifile, another great series from Spike Chunsoft, also going to Sony if this goes through. But that's like the game stuff. And like honestly, Kadokawa also has like their own indie publishing, right? So
I was gonna bring that up too, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Enterbrain, which is kind of another publishing that does a little bit of game, but not quite. They do other things. So you'll find that like Kadokawa has a lot of like smaller publishers that publish like multimedia publishing. So, and that's what they're really good at. The strength in Kadokawa is multimedia publishing.
I knew about that. I figured, I thought that was like their big thing is like anime and
no, it's
more than just anime. But I will say on the subject,
have you heard of Yen Press before?
No.
Yeah, so Yen Press is like a big, like comic book publisher in the States. And guess what? Kadokawa owns 51% of that. So, and there's a whole bunch of like smaller but international publishing, local publishing for just multimedia.
Yeah.
And when I say multimedia, I mean like really like anime, manga, games, anything, weeb, they can publish in multiple countries. So that gives Sony a lot of power to don't look at it from like a from a capital perspective. Look at it from like a capability perspective. This is a huge win for Sony if they can acquire Kadokawa.
One of the other things that I know that Sony now also owns is if I'm not mistaken, Crunchyroll. right?
Well, no,
Yeah, that's what I
Sony
said.
owns
Sony
Crunchyroll.
owns Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
So
yeah, oh, they've owned Crunchyroll. Yeah, they
and
do.
Funimation as well. Um,
Yeah. Well, actually, I think they closed Funimation. They merged it
yes,
with
yeah,
Crunchyroll.
exactly. Because I remember talking about
Yes.
that how Funimation got Crunchyrolled,
Yeah.
and Sony.
Yeah.
So by acquiring, if it works out, they'll be bringing in this very big publishing company underneath them, and that it's very interesting. I'm guessing that'll probably mean a lot of Kadokawa properties might show up on Crunchyroll. Um,
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
use
just
that.
more,
If not exclusive.
and it's more consolidation, in the space, more monopolistic. I'd hesitate to say it because I don't know if that word necessarily applies, but it's definitely
Mhm.
consolidation and
Oh, Media Factory, Enterbrain, those are all those
oh,
are all
that's
Kadokawa. Just another
sound
couple of
familiar.
names that
Yep,
we may have heard. Yeah,
man.
yeah. Oh boy. Here's what I think about this, right? I don't hate the idea. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. And the reason I say that is because if Kadokawa truly wants to be sold, like if they're truly,
If they're looking for a buyer,
interested
yeah,
in being, yeah, if they're looking for a buyer, if not Sony, it could be anything else. Y'all got to remember
yeah,
that. So if not Sony, it could have been it could be
Embracer Group
Tencent,
or something
right?
like that.
Which,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. In which case, I would hate it way worse, right? So, the thing about capitalism,
it's
and
gonna,
I'll say this from like an
yeah,
economic standpoint, is that you will see companies play Hungry Hungry Hippo until you get to be maybe like 4, 5, 6, large companies, and then dwindle down until you basically get like an
yeah,
antitrust lawsuit. Like you're gonna get to like big 3, big 2
yeah,
kind of
and
situation. That's
and
just how it is. Like you can see that
and
from
I was
every
just thinking it.
industry. Eventually, that's what
If
happens.
even if Sony didn't, somebody else is. Because
Yeah.
whether or not you choose to participate, others are. So I guess in a way we
Yeah.
can't be too mad at Sony. Now I was curious though about whether or not it stands a
Mhm.
chance of really happening because I've heard uh, among certain groups of people who are very displeased with the way that Sony has been these last few years that like a lot of Sony's leadership is currently based in the US. Um, that's what I've
Okay.
heard. And I don't know if it's true or
Mhm.
not. I haven't looked. I should probably
I
look
don't
it up.
either. Mhm.
But I know that Japan can
Mhm.
sometimes be protective of its um, companies, its major corporations, and is very touchy about external companies trying to buy them out. Um,
I would be. I mean,
yeah,
okay, imagine this, right? Like
yeah,
you're Japan. Like you're the imagine you're just like the government of Japan. And here you are, you've got this giant corporation, okay, that is a super prolific media company, okay, that does all kinds of things and has a lot of cultural IP,
hmm,
okay, that people have come to associate with your country. And that company is bought out by another nation that you don't have necessarily the best relationship with, where that country can effectively dictate the messaging
of your culture. Yeah,
that happens through these media company. You would be protective
certainly.
too. So I don't blame
Certainly.
them, quite frankly.
I'm not saying that in a
Yeah.
mean or like sus way about Japan at all. Like I
Yeah.
understand, and I'm just stating it as like here's what I understand of the situation. Like I think we'd all be
Yeah.
looking weirdly if China wanted to like buy Apple from United States, right? Like or or the
I can't imagine Congress
exactly,
allowing
you
that
know,
to happen.
CCP
Boy.
starts throwing up bids for Facebook, you know.
Yeah, no one's ever buying Apple phones anymore. Yeah, you know that backdoor code that they wouldn't give to FBI. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
they're going to go give it to the
exactly.
CCP, the new
So
owner, right?
Tencent,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, Tencent's gonna buy Google Alphabet. Like we'd be
Oh,
very much suspicious of those intentions for sure.
just a
Um,
little bit. I'm like, I don't know if I want to use
mm,
iTunes anymore. It's
yeah.
like,
So I guess I
um,
understand it makes a lot of sense for the national security of a country for them to be protective
mhm.
of their
Yeah.
you know, high grossing or corporations and stuff. So cool.
Yeah, there are a couple of things I think I would particularly worry about if I was a nation and I can just like, make decisions. I would worry about raw material. I would worry about major infrastructures, or companies that own major infrastructures. I would worry about
Hmm.
media companies being controlled by a foreign adversary. And I would definitely worry about companies that contributes to a lot to the GDP. So, for example, if I was South Korea, I would worry about like Samsung being owned by a foreign entity, like right, because I think Samsung makes up something like some obscene amount of the GDP for an entire nation. It's like 30%, which if that doesn't sound like a lot, that's one single company for a whole country, and they own a modernized country, and it's 30% or something to that effect. It's quite a bit. So if 30% of my GDP is owned by a different foreign entity, I'd be very, very concerned. So it'd be like that. But that's just what it is. It ties in politics. It is what it is. But you know what's fun? Let's leave you with something fun. Here's another thing that you probably didn't think
Hmm.
about until now, that Sony would now own if they were able to acquire Kadokawa, Anime News Network.
Oh my gosh, are
They're
they're owned
Kadokawa.
by Kadokawa?
Yep, they're owned by Kadokawa.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever thought like ANN is owned by someone? Like someone has to own ANN. Like it doesn't run
Jeez.
itself. Well, okay, I guess ANN could own ANN itself, but no, it's
Well, hey,
Kadokawa.
just real quick, I wanted to say welcome, Raiders. We just got raided over on the Twitch channel. It's good to have you guys here.
Oh, hello.
So we're streaming on Twitch and on YouTube, but yeah, hey, it's good to see you all. Thank you so much for that raid. It's good to have you here. Um,
Yes, if you guys haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we're just launching this HitPoint channel. So come on over and just hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to get notification, and hit the like
you're gonna
button
make
if
him
you
leave,
like
Baku.
it.
Knock it off.
Sorry, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know how to do the YouTube subscribe belt
Oh yeah,
like I don't know. I gotta
that's all
get
right.
better
That's all
at
right.
it.
So, I think though that we pretty much summed up the whole situation with Sony's potential acquisition of Kadokawa here as this sounds scarier than it probably is in the end.
Yeah.
But hopefully that's true.
Honestly, I've looked at it. I mean, other than not selling at all, if they have to sell, Sony is probably the best buyer, to be very frank.
Probably. I mean, there's probably not a whole lot of better buyers
Probably.
out there. And someone in chat here mentioned that that it's possible that Kadokawa actually approached Sony in order to avoid a hostile takeover. So I don't know if any of that's true. We can't confirm or deny some of that, but
Yeah.
it's all like we were saying, capitalism going to capitalize one way or the other, with or without your consent. So hopefully,
Yeah.
so hopefully,
I like that. Capitalism would
yeah.
capitalize. It's true.
So let's go ahead and move this topic along to one of the discussion topics, actually, that we have here. Yeah, switch the topics there to kind of some meta discussion here. Not talking about Meta the company, but Meta as in So the new YouTube channel that Baku and I have launched, that we're live streaming on, in addition to the Twitch channel over there, is we have just recently hit a milestone that allows us to, receive supers and stuff, which is awesome, as well as memberships. And for the last few weeks, Baku and I have been brainstorming ideas for what could possibly make a subscription, or not a subscription, but a membership to the HitPoint YouTube channel worthwhile. And that's about as far as we've gotten. So I wanted to hand this question off to you guys: is what could make it worthwhile to be a member here? And maybe memberships aren't going to be a thing in the long run, but if there's anything that you think could be cool for us to do, I wanted to kind of open that up to you guys and get some feedback from you, because I feel like maybe private streams, and not those kinds of private streams, but just candid conversations between us and members of the channel. Maybe some Baku, not those kinds of private streams, buddy. Jeez.
You know what? That's what sells, though. I'm telling you, like, that's what the people want. You gotta give the people what they want.
We're not starting up an OnlyStans, but yeah, just throwing that question to you guys is to see what would make it worthwhile. Would you like some conversational streams that don't necessarily focus on the news, but just casual conversations and such? Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go, but that's just something that's in the back of our minds. We did recently hit some 700 subscribers on the HitPoint YouTube channel itself, which is pretty. Oh, Ty asks for a hot tub stream. Tell you what, guys, get me a hot tub. Maybe.
I will send you a hot tub. Don't try me. I will get your address. I will go on Amazon and I'll have Amazon ship you.
Oh man, no. I believe you too much to chance that. But for real, why I want to, if we do introduce memberships, I don't want to do one of those things where it's just like, I don't know, throw me $1 and maybe I'll acknowledge your existence or something. I'm not into that. I want to make, if it's going to be something like that, I want to offer some kind of value somehow. And I'm trying to figure out how to do that with a live show, because it's not like you can get early access to anything through a live show, except for maybe access to a pre-show. That could be something that we do, maybe. Baku and I get together. I'm saying Baku and you and I get together for about a half hour before every stream, and we just shoot the breeze. And maybe we could just go. No. Maybe we just go live for members only.
Oh no, they will hear all.
They will. Yeah. Super Derek Uncensored. You'll hear me say things like and let's see, crap. Yep. I said, no.
Are you sure we're not doing that kind of a channel? I mean,
that is true. This is not the Super Derek channel. This is the HitPoint channel. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, I can just
say all kinds of stuff like fart. Oh my god, I said it. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Heck.
I only learned what that's the euphemism for the other day, and I laughed so hard.
Wait, is that actually actually a euphemism? Like for saying like JC?
Jiminy Cricket?
Yeah.
Yes, it absolutely is euphemism for something.
Cheese and rice.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, absolutely is. And once I found out what it was, I can't know it. It's so silly.
Oh man.
Anywho, yeah, something that can only happen in like the 40s and 50s.
Okay. Wait, is that like Jiminy Cricket? Is that actually like that was the original intention?
Wait, what do you mean?
So Jiminy Cricket is a character in Pinocchio who is the conscience of Pinocchio, supposedly. So is that actually like supposed to be a stand-in for like the biblical.
Okay, that I don't
Okay,
know. But
that's
as like
what I'm
a-
trying to think.
As a
Like,
stand-in, yeah, as a stand-in expletive, it is standing in for something else.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's the discussion topic. Any thoughts that you guys could throw us would be very much appreciated. Now, we do have some comments from last week that I'd like to take a look at here. Here, let's see. Where's the button? This one. So we don't have any voicemails, but you can leave us one and we'll play it on the air. If you give us a call at 785-337-3805, we can hear your soothing Dorset tones over the internet and answer your questions when, make it a whole discussion thing. But otherwise, we do have some comments from last week. Some from the YouTube channel itself, and some from the announcement that we were taking the week off.
Yes.
So do you want to? Here, I'll start off with this first one.
Okay.
There was actually a lot kind of like this that said, "Congratulations, guys, on 100 episodes of HitPoint. Here's to 100 more, and thank you for the hard work you put into the best gaming podcast out there." Man,
The best.
the best
The best.
around. No one's ever gonna take you. Okay. So, anyways, thank you so much. That was from Dom Buchanan. Very much appreciate that, and we'll continue to do our best to bring you 100 more episodes. It's kind of crazy how fast the first 100 went. This is episode 101, by the way. It's crazy how fast the first 100 went. I see no reason to slow down now.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we've got another comment from SPJRD, which I assume stands for Super Junior Delight.
No, Super Junior Derek. It's my son.
Super Junior Derek. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. Well, Super Junior Derek.
Sir. Don't speak to me or my son ever again.
Just allow me to paraphrase your son for a second. After 100 episodes of weekly live uploads, I think you guys deserve a break. Weekly. Yeah. Never skipped a single week, guys.
Yep.
We've been doing this every single week consistently on Sundays. Rain or shine or sleet or snow.
unless
doesn't matter.
unless it's on a Friday like tonight.
or unless we just don't do one. But otherwise, it
every
is
single
every
time.
single Sunday.
Yes, exactly. Every single Sunday that we stream live. None of that canned stuff.
Yeah, absolutely not. And thank you so much for just coming to celebrate with us for 100 episode. That's crazy. I didn't think we would go that far.
I know, right?
At first, we were just like, we're just gonna test this out and see what happens, and then
we just forgot to
100
stop.
Episodes later, we lost the stop button. Like, if anyways, and find a stop button, please let us know. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep going, and we'll be like 90, and then it'll just be like us hologram talking about PS like 20.
Yeah, let's do
if
it.
we can live that long.
I think at some point the AI and the nano robots will just reanimate my corpse at a certain point and allow me to play the video games that I couldn't accomplish in natural life. So
Yes.
the future is soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. I got one more comment that I pulled aside from the Couch Potato. Relatable. It said, "Hey, Derek and Baku. What's the reason you transferred HitPoint to its own channel? Does it have something to do with the YouTube algorithm? I don't get how it affects your main channel in a negative way."
Oh, that's important.
So that is exactly the case there, Couch Potato. Turns out making a live podcast every single Sunday for a couple of years, where certain people will watch, and we very much appreciate those who do, but then like a large portion of that audience won't watch. It really just kind of sends some signals to YouTube that like, every once in a while, every week they put out a stinker of a video. And what it does is it confuses the algorithm because it's obviously two different audiences. So by splitting off into our own channel, it allows HitPoint to start gathering its own YouTube audience that's going to bring in people who watch and, appreciate what they find, And the main Super Derek YouTube channel will continue to just put out videos that attract its audience, because yeah, it turns out they are separate audiences, and YouTube says that, you know, that shouldn't be a problem, that it will find an audience for every video. That's not true. They lie through their stinking teeth, and yeah, and there's probably some other aspects at play as well, but it just turned out I think this is the better choice.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And I think we're
so, like,
already
when-
seeing
yeah.
massive changes.
Oh yeah.
So it's very lucky. Anyways,
Yeah, I want to add to that too, and I guess for people who don't really know, people who aren't like in the creator like economy, the reason why like shorts is such a thing is because shorts is kind of like the low commitment media, right? You can watch it very quickly. It's like 10, 20, 30 seconds of your life, and then you watch
it's a
it.
passive.
Next thing
It's a
pops up.
passive consumption experience.
Right, right. And so what ends up happening is, you know, as the what's the word? As the level of participation, or the amount of time that you have to put into this media that you have to consume, generally speaking, you're gonna have less viewership, right? So shorts would have easily like 1 million view, right? Versus
Easily,
like
you
a-
say.
well, easily for a certain creator.
Oh,
right?
okay, sure,
And
yeah.
that same creator will have a harder time getting 1 million view on like a 10 to 15 minute video, because the level of commitment as a viewer increases drastically from 30 seconds to 10 to 15 minutes, right? And then even more commitment still, and this is why we thank you for being here with us, is the highest level of commitment for a media today is sitting down and watching a live stream. Is the highest level of commitment. You're literally spending like 2-3 hours with us, right? So you can see like 30 seconds, 10 to 15 minutes, like an hour to 3 hours, or even beyond that. Like the level of commitment is very different. So what ends up happening on YouTube end is, when you have the live stream crowd and then the video crowd, YouTube is treating the live stream like it is a video, but the commitment is way higher. So you have less people watching
Yes.
that. So like Derek says, every week it looks like there is just like a really bad video from Derek, when in reality we just had a live stream. It's not even the same kind of experience, but YouTube treats it like that it's just a video.
And
so
and because they go by
messes
watch
the
time,
view up.
it's or like percentage of watch time. So like they see somebody watched maybe 5 minutes of the video, and instead of saying, oh yeah, that's like 5 minutes, and people normally watch for maybe 5 to 7 minutes, they're like, oh, they watched for like 1% of that video, that must not be good at all. That's how YouTube does it. It's
So
weird, but it's
bad.
that's all inside baseball, though. So I didn't want to go down into the weeds too much with that. So I think we'll go ahead and switch gears into some of the super chats that have come in throughout the day's show.
Yes. Speaking of Anthony.
And we go. Yes. So from Anthony, Anthony says, guys, I bought The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak yesterday. I heard it was a good place to jump in. Can you explain to a newcomer what makes the Trails games in series so good? Thanks.
Oh boy, Derek, please explain to me why the Trails games are so good. I'm listening.
Yeah, okay. That's a pretty easy lift.
Softball question.
I mean, it kind of is. So one of the things that the Trail series just does phenomenally is world building. I think that is kind of like the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of different people. Second thing, waifus, definitely are top tier in Trails, but world building is the primary. World building, they have so far like 11, 12 different games in this series at this point, and they are all following a continuous thread of political intrigue, of this plot that just continues to evolve and build over time, along with a cast of really well thought out characters who continue to come back game over game over game. Sometimes they appear as cameos. Sometimes they rejoin your new party of heroes for a period of time. In a lot of ways, people say it's like the Avengers of anime games, and in a lot of ways, after you've played like 10 games, and then all of a sudden every character that you've ever played as like is in your party to choose from, and you have to make like 4 or 5 different parties for them to like go on different missions consecutively. Like it is so cool to see and be able to, like, there are so many characters. It's almost like a strategy RPG, but you get to control them all like a turn-based RPG. But the result is so many hundreds of hours of games that are just so fun. And also the waifus are pretty cool. And like the technology evolves over time as you play these games. Like here's the thing. The first series feels like a slice of life shonen anime, like it starts off like really like, oh, this is really mellow, this is really slow moving, but then all of a sudden like it's like, oh my god, this is a shonen adventure novel, and then the next series is a detective cop underdog story from like the 80s. It feels really weird. And then the third story is about school life that's also like military, and then it keeps like changing things up every few games. This latest one is like a hard-boiled cop, private eye guy, and I'm guessing that's cop. Like the theme of this one is kind of that noir kind of detectives aesthetic. So it's cool, and yeah, I could go on, but I don't even know where to go from here to explain what makes it so good. But ultimately, I think it strikes a really good balance of like telling a good story slow enough that like things continue to make sense, which is really important for me. It never got so overwhelming that I was like, this is just Kingdom Heartsing, that was the worst for me. Was Kingdom Hearts would just eventually just take a weird random turn and I'd be like, I have no idea what's going on anymore. That never happens in this game because everything feels more or less like it makes some kind of sense.
Well explained.
Yeah, well explained. They take the time to keep you informed of what's going on. And I like that. How about you, Baku? What do you think?
Yeah. So I guess, I don't know, like it's a different kind of storytelling, right? It's like if you like the Final Fantasy, each game being its own, world, and none of them is truly connected other than just like some elements like, oh, well, we have a chocobo or we have crystals or whatever. Like, but each of the Final Fantasy is more or less self-contained and its own things. You can think of them as like separate novels, right, by the same author, maybe with little cameos. This is like a grand epic. Like you're reading the Odyssey like in its full glory, right? And there's something interesting about that. It's a different kind of writing style altogether. I don't think they can easily be compared as far as like the writing is concerned. It's the amount of people that's involved, and even the NPCs like moves, and you can find old NPCs and old jokes from previous games in the newer game. It's very impressive to keep track of that many plot and that many people, that many relationship, and be able to make something that feels like
I am so glad that those are also completely optional though, because if I had to watch and read everything, I'd probably go insane before terribly long. But
some people
I know
like it's the amount of dedication. Like,
I get it though. If there was if I had more time to just dedicate to playing and replaying a single series, like Trails would probably end up being it. Like
I don't even have enough time to play the games. Like, never mind reading every single line and tracking all the changes. Just the amount. I admire that level of dedication from the fans. I mean, yes, obviously I admire the dedication from the creators, but the fans are just really willing to go the distance to like, you know, learn everything there is to learn about this game. It's very impressive. The level of details that
It's
they can
true.
follow. I don't know if I can do that, but if you're into that, like this is it. Like no other series even comes close to having that level of deep lore that goes on for games, and not just like a mere back mention of something, but actively, like Derek says, seeing main characters from one game having
Oh,
dialogue with the main
seeing
character of another
seeing
game,
plot
and
threads.
yeah, and having
Seeing plot
plots.
threads like connect
Yeah.
from like 3 games apart. It's like, whoa,
Yeah,
when it
it's-
happens.
yeah, it's impressive. Yeah. Now, so if you like that kind of style, this is it. This is for you. I've seen games that are like maybe like 3 games, 4 games long max. This is like 12 games long, connected fully in the same world.
But there is
with the
something
same
to be said
characters.
about having that like
Yeah.
comfort food. Like to have one series that
Mhm.
you can just keep coming back to and like playing more in the series. It's like watching a long running shonen, right? Like sure, like
Yeah.
it might
Piece.
not always hit, you know, the highest of highs at all times, although I will say I've
Mhm.
never had like a bad Trails experience. But like
Mhm.
you know, having something that you can always come back to and like, oh yeah, here's some more of this thing that I like. Oh yeah, here's some more of this thing that I like, and being able to come back to it day after day after day for a few years as you make your way through the series.
It's insane.
Like it also is really good at removing the whole like having too many decisions to make sort of deal. Like, oh yeah, I just have this thing that I'm playing through and I can just relax and keep playing this series and see what happens next. You know, binge watch essentially an anime or a video game series. Is very nice to be able to have the option to do that if you want it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's hopefully that answers your question as far as what makes this series great. In some, grand epic, consistent quality, easy to come back
Yeah.
to, can kind of hop on like anywhere, and, you know,
All right.
pretty cool.
So now the second and final super chat that we got here was from Alvaro, who says, "Who's ready for a Wild Arms 6 remake from Acquire, a PlayStation 1 first-party studio?"
Oh boy, that would be
I think
the day.
at this point they wouldn't do a Wild Arms 6. They would just call it Wild Arms, or maybe like what's the generic thing that they always add to like the end? They would probably call it Wild Arms 1 or something like that, like to indicate that they're rebooting the franchise.
Wild Arms re something. They like the re whatever. I don't know what it is about them and the whole re thing.
Wild
like
Arms
re zero,
Wild Arms
rebirth,
Kai.
relink. Kai.
Wild Arms regurgitated. What do they do to
Something.
the Yakuza? With the Yakuza Kiwami? Yeah,
Kiwami.
okay, yeah. We'll call it.
Wild
yeah.
Arms Kiwami. Oh boy, yeah, that would be interesting. But to your point, I think they wouldn't do Wild Arms 6. They totally do like a remake of the first
Or
game.
maybe they'll do like the, you know, what they did with like the Rocky Balboa. You know, Balboa. They'll just call it Arms.
I mean, if Sony will sell, like we know it will.
Wait, isn't that the name of a
yeah,
Switch game? The boxing.
Yes, yes, it literally is. So Nintendo can sue them too.
Wacky and wild, very wild arms.
Wild legs. No arms. They're legs. I don't know.
Wacky wild inflatable balloon man arms. Anyways,
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
but look, on that topic, I do wish that Sony would take the time to actually grow first party like staples. Like they just won't commit. That the first sign of seeing a game not necessarily doing too hot, they just cancel. Like the
Okay,
whole series.
Sorry to
Even
interrupt,
though, like in
but
retrospect,
I must.
Yeah,
From Twitch chat, Fess says, "Wild Arms Reloaded."
oh my god, yes, that's
Nailed it.
right there. That's the one. Nailed it. Thank you. Right there. That's perfect.
Okay,
Now Atlas is gonna sue them.
probably. Oh, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I wish that they would try to nurture some kind of first party.
I mean, we're still waiting on
It's like I do,
Dragoon.
I want.
You know, they still got to make a Dragoon prequel.
Something like give us something like Astrobot's a great start. Like I think it's great. They made a good game. Like people and really enjoy it. And you know what? Here's the thing. Astrobot, if you will think about it, like I feel like that game was facing kind of an uphill battle to begin with because
yeah.
it's kind of cheesy. It's like kind of kiddie.
It
like,
was a
not
pack-in
really-
game. The first one was a pack-in game.
The
for
first was a
PS5.
pack-in game, yeah. But for and especially because of that, now the second game feels cheap. It's like, really? The first game was packed in, now you want me to pay full price for this? Like, what? But look at how well that turned out. So I think it speaks volume to the actual game itself that despite all the things, all the preconceived, like, notion of it, people still played it and it was good, well received, right?
I miss pack-in games. What gives?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario was a pack-in game and it was awesome. Astro Boy, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Nintendo do pack-ins anymore, huh? Come on, Nintendo.
Oh, 'cause
Bring back the action
they
set.
don't have to. Bring back the action set. Yeah. Well, can't wait to see what Sony will do once they get to buy Kadokawa. Maybe they'll
All right. Maybe. But
conspiracy theory, I think.
maybe we'll have to find out when the dust all settles, and maybe that'll happen by the next time we stream, because I do want to let everybody know that we are going to be taking a few weeks off of HitPoint. I know we just came back from a couple weeks hiatus, but like we are going into the holiday season, and
the holidays.
I'm gonna be gone. I'm going to be gone here very soon, actually. So
let me look at the calendar. When
I'm not.
are you
I
gone
don't.
again?
I'm not going to be here next week.
Okay. Yeah. No. Next week, I'm also not going to be here. It's Thanksgiving weekend.
All right.
Like, it's just not happening.
Yeah. Okay. So next weekend for sure. Make sure you spend time with your family, people.
Yes,
Wherever you are,
all your loved ones.
Doesn't matter if you're celebrating Thanksgiving or not. Just spend some time with people you care about. And then the week after that, I think I'll be back, but I'm not sure. We're just gonna probably play it by ear because I know that there's a lot of stuff. The
8th.
I
think we should do a show on the 8th. I think we should, and here's why. Because I'm flying out to Vietnam on the 13th, which is that Friday.
Oh wow, yeah,
and
okay.
I'm gone for 3 weeks, so I think we should do a show on the 8th.
Okay,
And
I think we'll be here for
3
that.
weeks.
All right. So next week we're off for sure. Week after that we'll be back. No,
likely.
Maybe
We'll see, but likely, yeah.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll keep you posted. Follow us over on Blue Sky, and we'll keep you
Have we
posted
changed
over
all
there.
the links to Blue Sky?
Not yet, but we will.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I added them to. I
Oh,
think.
well, if you did, then yes.
I thought I did anyway. let me do that. After.
We'll do that soon. By the way, bro, dude, man, bro says, "I love you, Baku."
Hey, love you too, man.
All right. I think that with that, this show has come to its natural conclusion, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Before we go, Baku, any final thoughts for the people?
2. Number 1, someone said that my voice acting was pretty good. Thank you. I'm so gunning for 4 kids.
Heck yeah.
Number 2, tomorrow, 2:30 p.m., I will be doing another 12 hours fundraiser for ExtraLife 2024. We're so close, guys.
And where can they find you?
Over at twitch.tv/Bakusan OG. The link will be in the doobly-doo. In fact, maybe we can give like the extra life link in just for this week, maybe.
Oh yeah, we could do
Yeah,
that.
in the description. So you'll find an extra life link in there too. So in case you want to donate, we're sitting at like $3,670, which is way more than I originally expected. But now we expand it to $5,000. If there are great milestones and incentives that I can do, because I'm out of ideas, like please let me know. But also, just a reminder, if there are great ideas for membership for this channel, please also let us know in the comment section. Thank you so much, guys.
Nailed it. All right. Have a good night, everybody.